Hi Cancer, welcome to your deep love read for the end of October 2020. I hope you guys are doing great today. So let's get right into things. We'll pull a wisdom of the Oracle crowning energy. Remember guys, these are general messages. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. It's okay, maybe it's not your message this time. You always want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus as well. Ooh, Cancer, we got soulmates. Sometimes fabulous, sometimes painful. Let's talk about what this is. So you have to really think about love in the deepest sense, like so powerful that you're never going to be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. It could be a couple of months, it could be many years, but whatever it is, you can either feel so overwhelmed with gratitude because you're seeing life through a different lens because of this person, but at the same time, the very same energy can also break you in a way that you've never been broken before, so that you can finally actually claim who you were meant to be, because soulmates are meant to really teach us lessons, more than anything. And those of you who've been watching me know I often talk about the red thread energy, which is something that I believe in over soulmate and twin flames, which is in a nutshell, it's kind of the soulmate energy, right? Where as the mythology of it goes, when we're born, we have these invisible red threads tied to our ankle. We have one side, and spirit ties the other end to someone. And we're meant in our life to cross paths with that person. And we have a soulmate kind of connection where even it could end up being a very tumultuous relationship because of the lessons that are necessary to learn. But with the red thread energy, you ultimately end up working it out, figuring it out, and then staying together. The simple soulmate energies often just enter each other's lives for a season or 2 or 10 or 20, and you're just there for the lessons, but you're not actually meant to stay. So it does depend, and everybody's story is going to be a little bit different, but this is about breaking you open or opening you up to a level of gratitude and a level of love that viscerally changes you and just changes basically the way that you see, life in general. Because, whoever the soulmate is, they're coming to guide you home to the real you. And that's why they're meant to be on your path, Cancer. So really beautiful. I mean, those of you who are single, this does indicate that you will be meeting someone. Those of you together, it would indicate that you are with somebody who has that very role in your life right now. Or maybe you're broken up and you're resonating with that as being somebody who you were just with. So let's see how the cards come out. I'm going to be using the Light Seer Tarot. Okay, those of you who want to know. Past, present, near, future, final outcome. We'll sweep that, then we'll do some Lenormand. And then some oracles, throw some astro dice, pull an astro card, and the whole bit. Alrighty. So let's see what we have. Now we're going to do a layer of 4 and then layer 4 again on top, okay? So that's the recent past. This is the present. This is the near future. Sun in reverse is still 100% positive. It just means not yet. Okay. Alrighty. So that's the final outcome. We have a little bit of a ride going on here. Okay, a little bit of a ride for sure. Beautiful 10 of Pentacles working with the High Priestess in reverse. So we have the Star energy and the Chariot. Yeah, so Cancer, I do see in the past, in the recent past, you being very, very focused on the 10 of Pentacles energy. Is you might have been focused on the idea of getting married, because when it comes to relationships, Pentacles can mean mental, emotional, and physical connection. The 10 of Pentacles energy is one of the will you marry me card, or at least having the conversation about getting married, okay? This is the idea of having the conversation about leaving a legacy, having children, right? Anything like that. For some of you, depending on the stage of life that you're in, some of you may be experiencing a shift within the relationship because of retirement or because of some sort of inheritance that's come in. But it's this idea of family. There's this idea of family that's a deepening of commitment, a deepening of connection. That was definitely at least a part of the conversation, you know, in your life. But then we have, in the recent past, when we have the High Priestess reverse showing up. So this tells me that you had some sort of clouded insight, like your intuition was being blocked. You were not experiencing complete clarity as far as how you felt about something. So then we have the Chariot energy, which indicates, you know, making change, action and change, right? Moving away from something that's toxic. And what's interesting is the Chariot is attached to you. The Chariot does, when it moves away from toxicity, right? You get on the Chariot, and where's the Chariot going? The Chariot is going towards the 4th house of Cancer, of metaphorically like the home space, right? Because you guys are the landlord of the 4th house of home. So it's a literal home, but it's also like where we're supposed to be, right, in life, but away from toxicity. And then we have the Star, which is an Aquarius energy. So this is all about renewal and hope and inner clarity and having faith. And having faith, just really believing that, you know, nothing is impossible for you, which is really, really nice. Remember, the Star being Aquarius, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is all about the future. Uranus is attached to the Fool energy, so it's about very much focusing on, not that you guys are the Fool, but, you know, the card of the Fool, which is 100% positive. You're really very focused on the future, very, very focused on the future, even though you're not really sure. I feel like you guys were very confused in the past. There was this level of confusion in the past. And there was also this identification of certain things that were toxic within the connection. But that created a lot of confusion within you. Recognizing that there was toxicity and it causing confusion. And a lot of you, I am getting, making the decision to leave, you know, that whatever pattern somebody that you were with was in, because it wasn't good and wasn't good for you. You know, maybe they were struggling with, you know, excessive depression, anxiety, just making poor choices. You know, it could be a whole host of things. But right now, the current energies, we have the Hierophant reverse. The 10 of Wands reverse means to me that the cycle is already done. Like this was ended already, and that makes sense with the Chariot. In that energy here, the 10 of Wands always tells me, you know, it's been done already, right? I mean, it's finished. Something was just too stressful, too exhausting, became way too burdensome for you, and you left it. So I feel like you left this already in the recent past. And the energies could always be vice versa here, Cancer. Maybe somebody left you. Then we have the Hierophant reverse here. So this is about somebody who has a problem with authority, somebody who's very focused on being original, somebody who's very focused on being creative. It's a good energy, except if you want to get married, right? If you want to get married, this is a little bit of a challenge, because this is somebody who maybe doesn't want to get married. Maybe they don't want to have, you know, if you want to have children, maybe they don't want to have children, or maybe they just want to live together, or maybe, you know, they just want to do things their own way. You know, because the Hierophant upright is all about expectations, conformity, tradition, and it is one of the marriage cards. So in the reverse, it doesn't mean that they don't want to be with you, but they may not be into doing things, or you might not be into doing things a very traditional way, you know, maybe wanting to do things a little differently, and you're not being okay with that. Because the 8 of Swords is about the self-imposed isolation and sort of sense of self-imprisonment, where something that maybe worked for you at one time stopped working for you, you know, and feeling like things were just going off the wrong path. Now, it doesn't have to mean that anything was actually happening in the day-to-day with the relationship or whatever. This is very much within you feeling very imprisoned within a situation. So now, for those of you who are single, you could be single because you actually put those wands down, you ended something, and you're really right now, you're very just focused on doing you, being your own original self, being your own creative self, not really wanting to follow any set expectation. This may be you, right? You just may be in that space because you're recognizing that you didn't actually fit in something anymore in your past. Now, for others of you, this could also be bringing up a feeling of self-entrapment within self, meaning that you left something that you know is not working. You know that it was toxic, but you can't let it go. and you have yourself trapped in it, even though you know that it's probably not the best thing for you anymore, there's this, energetic, like kind of revisiting, and you having yourself in that space. And we have this working with 4 Cups energy, which is feeling very apathetic, feeling very unfulfilled in relationships. So you may be feeling very unfulfilled being single right now. You may be feeling, very kind of apathetic about the whole relationship thing, like, you know what, if it happens, it happens. I really don't care. Meanwhile, you really do care, kind of thing. Or if you're in a relationship, it could just be that you're feeling very, very unfulfilled. Now, the thing is here, you always want to make sure with the 4 of Cups energy that whatever you're identifying that because this is the kind of energy, will I ever meet anybody, not to cut myself off, but this is the kind of energy where it's like, will I ever meet anybody that I really, gel with, and that's really kind of, what I'm looking for? And the answer is yes, you can and you will, but you have to look at yourself a little more honestly and a little more deeply. And the truth of the matter is, you may not have been as ready for that level of relationship, maybe that you just got out of as you thought you were, or you may not be as ready as you think you are for a relationship right now. That doesn't mean that you don't want to be with someone, to go out to dinner, to hang out with, to be intimate with, to have a relationship, but you may not be as ready to have those forever conversations. You may not be as so ready to be completely vulnerable and completely open. Not that you're being dishonest, but to show your complete self. You may not be as ready as you think, or you may be dealing with an energy who is like that as well. As the thing is with the 4 of Cups energy, there is this idea that there is more to the story than meets the eye, right? This could be that, if you're feeling unfulfilled, or you don't like, I always call it the checklist card. I don't like when they do this, this, and this. And maybe the reason you don't like this, this, and this when they do that is because it pokes, at an old unhealed wound that you have from maybe a past relationship or from your childhood. It makes you feel a certain way. So anyway, what it ends up making you feel, though, is unfulfilled. So I do sense right now, Cancer, that there is something within relationship that you're feeling unfulfilled about. Again, either within relationship or having to do with being single. Now, in the near future, we have the 2 of Swords with the Sun reversed, the Knight of Swords. So there's a lot of change here. And the 9 of Wands in reverse, because whenever we have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands typically does mean like a lifestyle change. So let's talk about the 2 of Swords first. It's time to make a decision. Cancer, you have to make a decision in this near future. It's time to compromise for some of you. You have to decide to make a compromise, or you have to make a decision having to do with something else. But I do see you being very much across purposes with yourself, There's the Moon in Libra. Libra rules relationships. Moon is I feel. So this might not even be, very obvious to a partner or anybody else around you, but it does seem that there's something that you're feeling the need to make a decision about within you. We have this working with the 9 of Wands energy, which is about isolation ending, having faith in something. But this is also about defensiveness as well. You may be in a space where you feel like you need to defend yourself. You might be feeling also, what can happen a lot of times with the 9 of Wands energy is, I'm going to say paranoia, but let me explain what I mean by that. Because I feel like it's more a kind of thing where you're understanding a circumstance a certain way, subjectively, like through your own experience, through your own eyes. Nothing wrong with that. We're all our own people. But I feel like it might be where it might not actually be, you might not have all the information, is really what I want to say. Okay, and then you end up in this space of being quite defensive. So again, going back to the Knight of Swords, yeah. So, the Knight of Swords is a very fast-talking person. This could certainly indicate some sort of argument, some sort of conflict. And that conflict ends up inciting some sort of lifestyle change. So maybe you're together and then you're not together, or you guys were broken up and then you are together after having this argument, or this it can certainly be an air clearing kind of thing. Because remember, swords are communication, but it's also truth. Right? And the Knight comes in, it's very, you can't escape this kind of thing, right? And so, yes, it ends up a little heated for sure, but whatever ends up being, argued about, or whatever the air clearing is based on, it ends up inciting some sort of lifestyle change within the relationship, within the dynamic. So it really could just be from, you guys maybe just dating, and then you have this sort of blow up, because maybe you feel more for them and they end up feeling more for you, but everyone was too afraid to announce it, that they wanted to go to that next level. So this argument happens, and then you guys end up together as a solid couple. So that would be a lifestyle change, right? Some sort of lifestyle change within the relationship. We have this working with the Sun reverse, which is about delayed gratification. Now, for some of you, the delay here, the holding back, could end up creating some sort of very temporary, maybe depression, maybe anxiety, because it's the space of waiting. So there's this element of needing to wait in the near future, waiting for something that you really don't want to have to wait for. You don't want to have to wait for it. But there ends up being this need to wait, and there ends up being this need to defend yourself. So, whatever it is having to do with this relationship, it just can't happen right like now. And that could be frustrating for you, for them, a little bit of both of you for sure. What do we have as the final outcome energies? We have the Wheel reverse, Three of Cups reverse, Seven of Wands reverse, Ace of Cups reverse. Okay. Ace of Cups reverse is feeling very let down. Some of you may be feeling depressed. Some of you may be feeling very disappointed. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. The Seven of Wands in reverse can indicate having very weak boundaries. Dragging of the feet, stalling out, stalling on something, quitting, giving up on the relationship, giving up on the plans that you had moving forward, either one of you or both of you. And we have this working with the Three of Cups in reverse. So there could be a lot of gossip going on here. Maybe somebody's partying too much. You guys are not being supportive of each other. They're not of you, you're not of them, or each other, whatever it is. This could also be irresponsible flirting, anything like that. And then we have the Wheel reverse. And the Wheel reverse, this does indicate things getting out of control. This could also indicate just being super stuck in a rut and just feeling like, why do these bad things keep happening? Like, just kind of feeling like your luck is not the best right now. It's really not feeling like that. So, going back to the soulmate card, it does seem like, what did I say before? I mean, sometimes it's meant to break you. And that is the reality of it. So it does seem like whatever's happening here, though, Cancer, everything is happening as it should. And I know no one likes to hear that, particularly if we're dealing with something that's painful. But it does seem like some big lessons were learned here that were very necessary. And you guys were very meant to be in each other's lives. So let's see what the Lenormand says about this. Bridge, Clover, Scathe, Mountains, Rider, Tree, Patience, looking at the past. Let me pull one more. Okay, what do you have to pay attention to, Cancer? Oh, some sort of information coming in. Done. Let me just grab that. Okay, sorry, that dropped down. Okay. So the birds have to do with the message coming in. Sort of message coming in. I feel like somebody's just going to be trying to communicate with you. As we have the bridge, and the bridge can indicate meeting somebody halfway. Okay. So I think it's kind of like over here. Sorry, let me just adjust this. So this could be meeting somebody halfway with the bridge. So you could be meeting to sign papers. Some of you can be meeting to sign divorce papers, meeting to sign marriage papers, marriage license. But it could also just simply mean meeting halfway, bridging, but it going well. This is exactly what's necessary for you. We have with the clover. Now, we have the mountains as the obstacle that needs to be cut out. The obstacles in some sort of situation need to be addressed. Whatever is creating the delay in your situation needs to be addressed. There needs to be movement. A new cycle needs to be started. That's what the rider is. The rider is on a merry-go-round, the kind that go up and down. So one cycle is up, one cycle is down. So there's a change in cycle it's happening though. It's being incited because a message is coming in. And the message initially coming in is an as above, so below. You need to understand that what is happening out in the 3D in the relationship is infecting or impacting or affecting the health of the relationship and the health of each of you as individuals. And this, you need to understand that what is happening out in the 3D is affecting the foundation of the relationship. And I do feel like the female in this situation is being very patient in understanding all of this process. But what is she not seeing? Now, ladies, this could be you. Men, this could be a lady that you're dealing with, or this could be an important female in your life, Cancer, who's actually maybe giving you a little advice here, very patiently though. We have the book of knowledge, which needs to be open. If you see it's got a key and you need the key to open it, there's something that you need to understand, and it's going to come in the form of a message. But this is really, this version of the birds is a very good message. It's gossipy, it does indicate social media, but in a good way, not in a negative way. So this could be getting that text message, phone call, email, coming across something on social media that ends up being a solution to your problem. So I don't know, let's say you guys couldn't find a house that you could afford. Suddenly you find one. Or if the problem was money, somebody goes online and finds a job. There's some sort of communication coming in, but what needs to be recognized here is a new cycle needs to begin, which means an old cycle needs to die, which it does seem like that happened. But it's like, I feel like, what's that saying that we say, right? It ain't over until the fat lady sings, right? That was just coming to me with this. I feel like I feel like very strong that this is going to resonate with somebody who's maybe not together, or you're together, but you guys are really not in the best space right now. It does seem like there is a clearing on the other side of the challenge here. But that this challenge was very necessary and was just simply another lesson, right, that Cancer needed to learn, for goodness sake. All right. Cancer's been learning lessons for the past, 12 years, right? You guys in Capricorn, since I always say since 2008, you guys have been having it handed to you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, there's no question. That's the astrology of that sign is what I'm referencing more than anything. We have the mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Engagement ring, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. I'm going to pull one more. Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, or meeting, hesitation. Wow. All right. So we have very mixed messages here. So I'm probably going to pull the Wild Unknown Tarot to get some additional messages. So I feel like there's been a lot of promises made about like, well, yeah, we're going to get married. We're going to do A, B, and C. We're going to like ride off into the sunset together kind of thing. And somebody was just not being like 100% honest. They just weren't. you know, and it ends up being a very painful situation, getting stabbed in the back. Really, really difficult. It's like one member of the union is like very authentic, has a lot of integrity, I love you, I'm here, and the other person is not being very authentic. There's a lot of promises here, but then I see some moving on and closure issues. But then there's somebody else, surprise invitation or meeting, but being hesitant. Now this could be a cycle with the same person, can be, or it can be meeting somebody totally new. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups. All right, we have the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, that's the Seven of Cups. It's the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, yes, we have the Moon. We get the Moon and the Sun. Hello. Wow. All right. So the Seven of Cups is telling me that somebody's got commitment issues going on here, right? I mean, it's like too many choices, commitment issues for whatever reason. So that may be that, you know, that delay. But then we have this Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is actually really nice energy in a relationship because it's about figuring out what's necessary. What do you need to do to master the relationship, right? Meaning, what does everybody need? What's necessary in order to temper a healthy outcome, right? What do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need, right? And really figuring that out. But the thing is, with working with the Moon energy, the Moon does indicate unseen problems, voluntary changes, right? And the need to really trust one's intuition. So, but it's very much what we're feeling underneath the surface, very underneath the surface. But I do see that there's going to need to be, Cancer, I have to tell you, I feel like somebody is experiencing commitment issues and not being very forthcoming about it, as there is like the relationship is being worked on, because the Sun is all about material happiness and there being a really good outcome. But this is the thing as well, the Sun is the path that we're meant to be on. It's like you have all the tools in your toolbox to make yourself happy. Everything is there. Everything is there. So what's the deal with the commitment issue? You know, is it either coming from you or coming from somebody that you're dealing with? It does seem like that. I mean, I definitely feel like there's a lot of emotions here, but it's somebody maybe exercising sort of self-sabotaging behavior, fear of intimacy, something like that. You have fear of commitment, same thing. You've been in my dreams. Conflict is a necessary step in the growth process. Be patient, this will pass. Well, that is just such a soulmate message right there. Sure. I'm insanely attracted to you. Let me pull one more. You make me feel a kind of anxiety I have never known, yet desired in a way I have never known. Yeah, oh, definitely a soulmate connection here. There's no question. All right, listen, this is only for the end of October for those of you who are resonating. See how this ends up rolling out, like moving forward, right? We have Saturn, we have Leo, and we have the 12th house. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that we got the 12th house. It's Pisces is the landlord. Neptune is the ruler of the 12th house of, it's the house of self-undoing is what we call it, right? But it's the house of the subconscious mind. And I do feel like there's a lot of subconscious energy going on here for sure. Now, we got Leo. Leo is the 5th house of, we call fun, but it's the house of romance and falling in love and the act of sex and our self and our creativity, and very much focusing on ourselves. It's very much a me house versus a we house kind of thing. So and then having Saturn here. Saturn is all about Saturn is the landlord of the 10th house of, you know, working hard, putting in the work, right? But also at the same time, Saturn is all about time and restriction and delay. So I do feel like there is some sort of delay that's being felt. There is some delay that's being experienced so that one of you or both of you can just kind of focus on yourselves right now, developing yourselves, getting yourselves together. But it seems like you at the same time still want to be in a relationship, but yet And I almost feel like there's this thing where it's like, you know, in a relationship, interdependence is very necessary and healthy while you're autonomous. And what autonomy means, if you're not clear on what that means, is you're still your own person within the relationship. You have your own friends, you have your own mind, you have your own desires, your own dreams. You're your own person, they're their own person, but there's this healthy interdependence. And I feel like you might be in a situation where that's challenging to balance. Because it does seem like somebody might, where there's emotions, there are feelings, there's no question, but there's this fear almost of losing one's sense of self, and that's where maybe the commitment issue comes in, or something like that is definitely what I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. But anyway, guys, that's what I have for you for the deep love for this week. I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.